Howdy, everyone. We are here today to tell you about the Euro Rapid Chess. Some wonderful, interesting developments like this game between Jan Krzysztof Duda and Daniil Dubov. So it's the Ds, the Duda versus the Dubov here. So Duda from Poland played white, and Dubov, the Russian, played black. So here we go. We shall at the end game is what's interesting. So I will be going fast through the very beginning phase and the middle game, and I'll be focusing more on the end game because that's where the queens come in, and you can kind of see the thinking of the players here. And the exciting part is that Dubov always, with his style, just like a signature, everybody can write an A, a B, a C, but your a specific signature handwriting is different from the person next to you, right? The same in the style of chess. So my suggestion when you are learning chess, don't worry about this, don't worry about losing, because losing is really learning, and you will develop your own chess style, whether it's attacking, whether it's more passive. Like people drive a car. Some people are very aggressive when they see the green light from the red, and some are different. Just find your own style, and you'll do that the more you play, and the more you will like certain openings, the more you will be able to focus on things. Obviously, try everything like a buffet. When you go to a buffet, try everything, and over time, you will like something more than something else. And then you will develop your style of play with chess. So also look at your grandmasters out there and the past history, like Tal, for example, or Bobby Fischer, or all these others that you can look up their games and see which style you like, and then develop your own. Anyway, so here we go. We begin with this type of opening. If you go here, it is considered the Semi-Slav, the Meran Variation. And as you know, this is an interesting. Two knights are already developed here. Look at the pawn structure for black. Nice little like saber tooth out here. And we have two knights developed. There's more development here by white at this point in time. And I guess they're vying for the center. The center pawns are involved here. Let's see what will happen next. So instead of taking, Dubov moves out his knight. Then Duda moves out his bishop. They're still developing, positioning, getting their army out until they let it rip. And so far it's still just development phase. Now Dubov has taken and is threatening the bishop. Let's see, will he take? Is this a free pawn, or is there something behind this move? Let's see what uh, Duda does. So he takes, and then we are attacked right away with another pawn by Dubov. So he retreats. Then he brings out the 9. This is called the fianchetto. Notice it's on the long diagonal, the longest diagonal you can. This is it's almost like a dragon type of situation because you have it's a sniper. Those streamers call this a sniper because it's a long range situation. You sometimes forget this. He's there. So always look at the whole board. Look at the whole board when you make a move. And so we castle here with Duda, and then he's developing here with the pawn and with Dubov. We continue fighting for the center with the next pawn. So it's in the direct line of fire with this knight. We'll see what is. I mean, we got to start playing the game, so we got to start moving the material and hopefully losing the material in an equal fashion and improving our game at the same time. So we are still not taking. We are still developing, thinking about what to do. He's also moving up his position. Dubov is. So Duda moves up his pawn to attack, but he's also being attacked. Very interesting. What Dubov has choices here. He does not take. He instead is starting to threaten the knight, or threatening to go here, but is also protected. So again, it's almost like a developing move with a future thought there to consider. What will Duda do? That kind of rhymes. Duda, Duda, do. Duda, Duda, what will Duda do? Okay. So he also does not take this pawn structure. I guess when you go and continue with the variation further on, it's not what they wanted. So the game is now fluid. He is now going towards the right, attacking, thinking maybe it will be castled on the right if it does castle. So it seems everything is pointing in the direction to the right side. As you can see, the attacking moves are towards the right. They say you should attack towards where your pawn chain is going. It's another rule to remember. But of course you want to attack where the king is, but it seems that the direction you're going is towards the right, since the pawn structure is going up towards the right. Alright, Dubov in the black moves his knight, attacking the queen. Let's see, I don't think Duda wants to, maybe I should say just Jan Krzysztof versus Daniel. Jan Krzysztof Duda, JKD, does not want to lose his queen, so I'm assuming he will move his queen. Let's check. Well, he does not, he did take. So he chose to take, and that continues the pawn structure here. A little bit dismantling here. We are starting to have a more open position on the B file, and we are seeing another potential. It's a semi-open line for the F file. Okay, so we are continuing. You can count how many pieces there are, so yeah, I leave that up to you. Pawns versus material, minor pieces, and so forth. Alright, he moves up his bishop, or develop his bishop, attacking this knight at the same time here. Let's see, what will Duda do? He's like, you're in my territory now, I'm gonna kick you out, or what are you planning to do? Are you planning to sacrifice the knight? Do you have another plan? Let's see what kind of plan Duda has. So he does take, moving in towards the Dubov territory. Let's see how Dubov responds. He takes, which opens up the line. Notice this move. By taking, he opened his that line, a diagonal line for a check, and that's what Duda does, checking. And of course, he blocks it quite easily with his pawn, the G pawn. Then he is another check, but I'm assuming it's going to be taken by the pawn. But if it's not taken by the pawn, then he has more access. He can continue attacking the king. We shall see how Dubov responds. He takes, which is now, look at this position. This is quite dangerous. Okay, if he had more rooks on this side, this would more support. He needs more firepower to make this a checkmate. So let's see what Duda does. He takes the pawn, because you remember pawns can become queens. I want to grow up to be a queen. You have those cars that like those really beat up cars, bumper stickers that say I want to be, and one day I'll be a Cadillac that says what he's eaten. This queen has eaten a potential queen. Like the lion eating the cubs. Maybe that's why the lioness stays away from the lion after the cubs are born or something. Anyway, all right, I'm deviating. Let's continue. What is next? Okay, the king is moved, repositioning of the king, and now we continue with a check by Duda checks Dubov's king again, but that is eaten. Wow! So this was just check happy, but you just gave up your bishop just like that. But in the same sense of giving up your bishop, you're giving up your rook, and at the same time you are checking. So it was quite some firepower for a while, and we continue here with more pieces being moved off the board. Notice this nice pawn chain continuing, although this can be broken at any time if the Dubov wishes to do so and break through on this side. He doesn't have much firepower left by the king. His king is quite exposed, but that is Dubov's style. He just goes all in and makes the chess game exciting. Notice this is rapid chess, so they're not having a lot of time to think, like in over-the-board chess that they just some of them had in the Tata Steel Championships. This is the Euro Rapid Euro Rapid chess game, so these chess moves are made quite quickly. At some point, they even had seconds to make a move. Imagine the pressure. You want to make the calculation. You're not a robot, so it's a lot of intuition at those points of times. And your signature, like I said before, your signature will most likely subconsciously determine how you will move. How you write that A, B, C is going to be how you write your moves on the board. And he moves the king again, so it's almost like what is the Dubov planning? What's his counterattack? There is no counterattack. Duda's king is nice and happy here. How is he gonna move out this? How he's gonna move out these bishops to start attacking? There's no firepower yet from Dubov. He's just been defending his king for last few moves. Okay, let's see what happens. Is Dubov going to start the attack? Let's see. Well, he doesn't have a chance to. We have more attacking moves by Duda. Check. He runs away. Check. He runs away. Is this going to be a repetition? Are they going to decide to end right here by a three-way repetition? Let's see. All right, no. It looks like he was going for a draw here, maybe. But Duda seems to have found another move to take here. And then we continue. Duda moves up his rook. Maybe he's going to form a battery. Notice he basically is protecting this pawn where there could be a pawn chain break. And let's continue here. All right, looks like it's a repositioning on Dubov. He's coming around the corner, and by this move, he is attacking Duda's queen. Look at that. One move, and we are from being attacked to attacking. That's a beauty of chess. He was just attacked, and just by this move, he is attacked. Okay, and the tables are turned here in this moment for Duda's queen. So he moves it with a check. Okay, what happens next? Which way is the king gonna go? Is he gonna block? Which way is he gonna move? These are critical things, and if you don't have a plan, this is where you're gonna be flustered and lost. This is where you need to keep your cool and continue the plan. So he moves into the corner. Okay, and there are no bishops left here for Duda. He's got just the queen and his rook, but the rooks are not very active, and they cannot go diagonally. Only the queen can. And we got some pawn chain still going on. But look at this. This is quite open to attack, but he has no other piece. Maybe he can move in his queen. But he hasn't had a chance to do so because Duda has been checking and checking his king, Dubov's black king. All right, so we continue on the move. We are now even in, look at this nice, interesting pawn formation. Very interesting here. Very symmetrical looking. So what is the plan? This is being attacked twice. So what's the plan here? Is he so confident? Or he wants to just break through and go for the queen? What's going on here in Duda's mind? Why is he moving this pawn up? Basically abandoning the structure. This is an isolated pawn. I wonder what he's thinking here, but let's continue. How will Dubov respond? Well, he continues moving his knight over, I guess trying to finally move his pieces towards where the Duda's king is, but he's kind of sheltered quite well here. We shall see what is next. Okay, so Duda keeps advancing his pawn, attacking the bishop. And the bishop now goes alongside the queen. And notice it's protected by the queen, so it's not an easy take at all. And then at the same time, he's positioning himself on this weak pawn, which is at this point protected by the king. But you don't want to expose your king when you are so protected. So he's finally doing some threats towards Duda. Well, Duda ignores this threat and continues moving his pawns up. Okay, kind of boisterous. I'm gonna move my pieces up. Maybe I can make another queen. It's kind of doubtful at this point in time. How did this become two queens against two queens? Oop, I'm letting it slip, letting it give away. But this game will turn into two queens versus two queens. Yes. So how will they both convert? Let's look at this. So he's moving up his pawn. He's only very close, and this one's being protected. This one's on the move, protected by this queen. Do we have enough pieces that can move into? He's only got these pieces, and this piece, the queen is protecting, is attacking this pawn. And if he takes, then the queen will be taken, so I don't think he wants to do that. So he's putting more pressure on Dubov to do something about this. Let's see what he does. What move does he come up with? All right, so he goes alongside. So he's saying, I've had enough of this. I'm still protecting my bishop, but also attacking this pawn. Well, basically both pawns. Well, it's actually this one because this one's protected. So this one is also protected. So maybe he's going, maybe he wants to risk his queen. Is he going to risk his queen? Right now, the queen is protected by the knight. Okay, let's see how Duda responds. He continues. Oh my gosh, he is adamant. He wants a promotion. He really wants to go for that promotion. Kind of sassy here. Kind of like, you know, on the neighborhood playground. We are going for it. Okay. How will Dubov respond? Okay, he ignores this threat. And he moves up his bishop. Let's go back. He moves up his bishop. Let's see what that does. So he also has a plan of some sort. He's protecting his pawn right here versus not this pawn, because this pawn's still protected by the rook and this bishop. I'm not saying the letters. You can see the letters when I say C4, C5, 7, 6. I feel like I'm some mathematical journal or something, and it just puts me to sleep. So I'm sorry. You can see yourselves whether it's C4, C5, 7, 6, whatever. And not 7, 6, but you know I'm talking about D7, D8, whatever. I'm not using these terms because those terms just start putting me to sleep. I'm so sorry. So I'm just going to continue in these types of terms. So the bishop is on the C file instead of the B file. And of course, he's now protecting this pawn at the same time, still looking fianchetto type of situation with his bishop towards the G2 pawn, which is really only protected now by the queen too. Okay, quite interesting, quite interesting. Let's continue. All right, now we are moving up to get rid of this bishop. He is now weakening this position, opening up his king a little bit. So he must be feeling some sort of pressure, finally, or impatience or something. We shall see. And now Dubov is on the move. He has moved and he decided this is how he's going to be attacking. Notice how slowly he has crawled towards the side where he had nothing previously. And now look at a few moves later, he's got quite a position here. He's moved over his queen, his rook, and his bishop, and that moved down his bishop. So he was creeping slowly, ever so slowing, and now he has material on this position to be firing to such a point that Duda decided to even move his pawn. But he's not afraid of moving this pawn. I mean, moving the bishop. He's still right there because protected by the queen, which is protected by the knight. Here we have an attack. Let's see what Duda will do with his queen. He has moved his queen. At the same time now attacking both bishop and the knight, although there is no counter attack. The king can just take, and he will lose his queen. Or he can take here. The queen will be in the queen exchange. Let's see what will Dubov do in response. Will he take this pawn, or will he not? He has not. So he continues on further moving towards this side. That's a very interesting move. It's probably wanting to take over this knight. And voila, we are just crunching it in. Imagine, look at this move. Attacking this pawn. This bishop's attacking this pawn. And the poor king is kind of stuck. So we've got to do some counterattack right now by Duda. Let's see what he does. He moves up his rook. Also wanting to get of this fianchetto the bishop. Not getting rid, but blocking the fianchetto bishop. Because this could be a nading net being procured by Dubov. So this is a move to stop, and this is also still protected by the queen. Although the queen would lose its position, a nice little position here. So it's kind of like trying to burn the candle both ends. Let's see how long that pressure can be kept up. And let's see what Dubov can think of to counter this pressure. He eats. Look at this. He eats the rook. It's kind of like saying, come here, little queen, come here. Are you going to eat me? And he does. But that gives him some tempo here to move out of the way. What is he going to do is he going to do something, or is he going to continue attacking this pawn? What is he going to do? Because we've got this staring at this. We got this staring at this and this bishop. So we are staring at this this bishop, poor little pawn here twice, and this pawn is protecting the king. Voila. What will Duda do? I really wonder. We got a 3-prong attack. Well, at this point, maybe he'll do a check. I do not know, but if he does a check, then he's gonna be losing his queen. All right, let's see what can be done here. The pressure is on. Look how Dubov was able to seem a losing position where he had nothing on the board here on this end. No counterplay, nothing, is able to find this type of position. Interesting, very interesting. All right, now can we continue? Just one little move is now attacking the Duda's queen. Is he going to do a check? Let's see. No. He has decided. Is he going to lose a queen? But look at this interesting move. Look at this. But he's got this pawn waiting to be promoted. Waiting to be promoted. Even though this knight now is right here, so it can take. But we'll see what will happen. So the queen takes. And now it's being at the same time. Which is the king going to move, or is the knight going to take? Let's see. What will Dubov decide? He takes with the knight. Was that the best move? Because right here he would have been promoting, and then he could have taken that with the knight here, and the king would have been moved here. Anyway, it's a quick rapid game. You have to make quick choices and quick calculations. And now he has made a queen. Duda has made a queen. He just lost a queen, but he knew that he would make a queen. Although if it was taken by the king. Anyway, but that's why we players, everybody can do different things, and there are different results depending. There's so many choices on these 64 squares, millions of choices, and you're doing a rapid chess game, and you have to be think quick on your feet. Okay, so what will happen now? He has moved this out, the bishop out. We are now attacking the queen with the queen again. Move the rook, protecting this pawn, this passed pawn. Is it gonna queen too? Let's check. It's moving up in the New York apartment in town. Moving on up. Remember that? Oh my gosh, I'm dating myself. Moving on up. Okay, let's see. That's moving on up to be promoted. But again, Dubov put a bishop here and a knight. So he said, oh yeah, you want to promote? Or I'm just going to eat you up. Just try it. Just try it. In the meantime, is Duba finally going to start to move his passed pawns? Is he starting? Is he going to do that? What's going to happen here? And the knight is, I mean, the king moves, then the queen. Then we have another move by Dubov. He now has this nice little pawn chain situation. Although we are staring at it and then we could still take. Okay, so let's see what happens here. What will Duda decide? That also rhymes. Duda decide. Dubov, Duda, Duda do. What will Duda do? Duda, Duda do. Okay, he moves up the rook. Interesting position. Where's the rook staring at? Staring at here, potentially. And it's to continue to protect the pawn. Now he's got two pieces protecting this pawn. Let's see whether Dubov has time to also promote his pawn. Remember, at the end there are two queens to two queens on the board, but I won't tell you about the material. You'll figure how that looks like at the end. Okay, we continue. Continue. We are doing the rook here, attacking. Attack, attack, still protecting. So very interesting. Very, very tight game. Very tight game here. Alright, he moves the king to protect the bishop. Not really, because the queen would take. And so now he Duda moves his king to have a little protection right here. But then, you know, she still would escape if we have a back rank attack. But that's really only done maybe by the bishop, and that's kind of far away. Seems like Dubov was attacking for a little bit. Duda was able to wiggle himself out of it, and we are now continuing this interesting position. And we can't call it an end game, but because the queen are on the board still, but it's kind of really an end game at this point. All right, so now, all right, let's move. He moved this pawn, so now we have another pawn, and the pawn is take. Woo! We might have a promotion here. Look at this sequence of events. Boom, boom, boom. And we've got this going on. Well, let's go back. Boom, boom, boom. All right. And now we have the queen. Duda's queen is moving up to the A file. Moving, I mean, sideways. Ah, we shall see. Will Dubov make a queen? Ah, look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh, you want to take my queen? I'm gonna take you. Oh. He's forced to move. I don't think he wants to lose his queen, does he? Very nice bishop move by Dubov. But he's not afraid, because now we have a check. So it seems he's not afraid to lose his rook. Or he's going to take the queen. What's he going to do? What is Dubov going to do? What's best? So he takes the rook, which allows Dubov to take the bishop. Which now Dubov is concentrating on the passed pawn here. So we don't have more queens, but we shall see. Duda has decided to move this pawn instead of going back here to attack this passed pawn. Okay, now it's become a queen. So there we have it. You have listened. If you've come this far, you're such a good listener. You did a great job. And now you have finally seen. It's been a scene by you of how we've got two queens in the end game. This is getting spicy, very interesting, very tense, because we got seconds to move these moves. And imagine trying to calculate and keep your king safe with the two queens on the board. Well, not two queens, with Dubov having two queens on the board. So now check. Just gonna go faster here. The kings are trying to escape. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, where Dubov resigned. So yes, he was down in material, even though he got himself two queens. And so did Duda. And he is more material, and it's just a queen is good on attacking but not very good at defense, so this would have been just a matter of time and that Duda would win, and so Dubov resigned. What a game. What a game! I think the Duda put it on his Twitter. What a crazy game! Thank you, Dubov. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. So I mean, even the players liked Dubov's style here, and great job for young Krzysztof Duda in defending and getting a win, and that will allow him to be in the quarterfinals of the Europe Opera Europe what is it called? Opera Europe Rapid Chess. Sadly, Hakamura is out. Can you believe it? Hakamura, the streamer, the grand streamer, had quite a bad loss against Shackland. And it's kind of bitter ending there because he was winning during that game. Maybe I'll also post a video. But it's quite sad. He has so many followers on as a streamer that it would have been nice to have continued, you know. But again, what can you do? That's how things roll sometimes. Anyway, so this is the Queen's game, end game right here. And thank you so much, Duda and Dubov, the Dudus, for the the Dudu. That didn't sound right, did it? There's a lot of these. There's a lot of these. The Duda and the Dubovs playing in the Opera Europe Chess. This was round 13. And this we are in February of 2021. Thank you all for listening and stay tuned for more games. Au revoir.